I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made, Bostonian flow, I kick it a back day. Yeah, I got game, God in a fan way. We the city of the champs, every sport we play. Spit wetter than the harbor, yeah, I'm flowing like the Charles. I be speeding on this beat, call it turnpike miles. Yeah, it's Boo signing on.
Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Once a Week. I'm Billy Giannouloudis, and with today's message, I wanted to bring you something that not only helps you make progress, but also helps you rewire your mind so you can continue to make progress in the future. Now, if you've been to any of my training seminars or have seen the series of videos that I did on rewiring your mind, you'd know that it is a pivotal point to us not only creating the life that we want, but living it out and enjoying it as well. Rewiring your mind is crucial if you feel that you can improve in any area of your life. So if you haven't seen those series of messages, I want you to go check them out. They will help you out. But for today's message, I wanted to help you do that right where you're sitting right now, by giving you this intervention so you can begin to see progress that you've made in certain areas of your life and what areas that you want to make progress in. Because truthfully, whether you realize it or not, we're all constantly growing and moving in certain areas. And until you actually take the time to see how that is going for you, you might miss something or might miss out on seeing how far you've actually come. So let's get right into it. Now, I recommend that you grab 3 pieces of paper for this, just so you can take your thoughts and put them out there. But if you want to watch this video so you can get the walkthrough before you're doing it yourself, that's totally fine. But first, I want you to write a list on each piece of paper just like this. Listing physically, mentally, emotionally, attractiveness, relationships, living environment, socially, spiritually, career, and lastly, financially. Just write that on each piece of paper in one column. Just like this. Now, if you need to pause this video to do that, go for it right now if you want to go step by step. But the next step is I want you to take that first piece of paper and title it 5 years ago. And now here's where it starts to get fun. See, I want you to score yourself between 0 and 10 on where you think you were for one of these categories 5 years ago. And then go down the line. Where were you physically, mentally, emotionally, and so on and so forth. 0 to 10. 0 meaning that you had just nothing for that category at all. And then 10 being you were living out everything you could possibly want and need from that specific category. And then after you scored yourself, I want you to write a quick sentence next to that score on how you were back then, or what you were like with regards to that category. So we have score and then description. And now, truthfully, to tell you from experience, this intervention is eye-opening. I learned this from Tony Robbins and did it for the first time not too long ago. And just to take the time to see where you were 5 years ago, it's crazy. But take time to score yourself and write a sentence about it now. Now again, if you need to pause this video, go for it. But lucky for you, we aren't done, because we still got those 2 pieces of paper to go. So I want you to take one more piece of paper with all your categories on it, and I want you to write today on that one. And just like you did before, I want you to give yourself a score. But this time, score yourself from 1 to 10 on where you think you are currently today for each of these categories. And just like we did before, I want you to write a sentence next to it. Now, write out your improvements or what you've learned in that specific area, or write out how you wish you made more improvements in this area, or if you feel like you declined in a certain area. Truthfully, don't even let that discourage you. Write next to it a message to yourself to create more drive in you to improve in that area. Everything can be a key to your success if you look at it the right way. It's all about your perspective. But take time to do that. Again, If you need to pause it, go for it. Now, when I did this intervention myself, the first section of 5 years ago was extremely eye-opening for me. But when I did the list for today, you could really see the improvements start to unfold. Because personally, my entire life was extremely different 5 years ago for pretty much every single one of these categories. I was not the person I wanted to be back then, and I wasn't the person I am today. But back then, you don't tend to think about that on a daily basis. But today, I may not be fully who I want to be, but I'm closer. Every day is your opportunity to make an improvement somewhere. Now take that to heart. If there's an area of your life listed here, or even a different area that you want to improve on, strive to make an improvement each day in some way. Small adjustments over time consistently lead to big results. And here's where we start to see that route for you, and where you want to be and where you want to be in these categories you've listed, and who you want to be, I should say, because we still have one piece of paper left. So I want you to take that piece of paper and write on it 5 years from now. And just like we did before, I want you to give yourself a score for each of these categories. And then describe what you will be like for each of those categories 5 years from now. As much as the first two pieces of paper were eye-opening, this piece of paper holds a tremendous amount of power and drive for you, because the future isn't here yet. You have your opportunity to see improvements and progress you've made without even realizing it. And then now, take hold of that improvement and direct it where you want to go for each category that we have listed. So for you, if it's the physical category that you want to be, and your goal is that in 5 years you want to be down 20 pounds, write it down. Make that in the description column. Take hold of that and run with it. Understanding that your eyes are open now to your own ability to move on these sections that, in all honesty, we can lose sight of at times. Use this intervention to improve yourself. Being able to do this with my life coaching clients is just eye-opening and helpful to them as it was for me when I first did it. So pause this video now to fill out that last section. And if you do this after, take about 5 to 10 minutes for each section. Run with it. Let this sink in. Now we've done all this. You've taken the time to dedicate to seeing how much you can change in 5 years, possibly without even knowing it, and then directing that change to whatever categories you want to improve on in the future. Why I have people do this intervention and why I do this intervention myself is because we can all get lost in our own days and life and forget to see where we are and what is going on. Taking this step back allows us to see that. Plus, why I started this video with mentioning rewiring the mind is because throughout life, we all go through experiences, whether good or bad, and they shape us. But if we aren't focused on what is going on, we can get stuck in a limiting pattern, which truthfully can halt our growth in the areas that we really want to grow in or improve on. But being able to see your past, your present, and your future with this intervention allows you to switch that, to break that limiting pattern. Because if we get stuck in our past, meaning we only think about what happened to us, constantly sending those thoughts and images through our minds, we start to live out the same pattern over and over and over again in the present. Possibly different experiences, but since we're so focused on what happened to us, we lose sight of what could happen for us. But if you're constantly focused on the past, living out the same patterns over and over again, the same pattern throughout the day, the same relationship pattern, the same financial pattern, the same social pattern, the same career pattern, whatever it is, you get bored. And more importantly, your mind becomes stagnant. And when your mind becomes stagnant, you don't grow. And when you don't grow, you stop living. Use this intervention See what changes you've made and what changes you want to make, and then start to make them. Give yourself that drive to improve your life on your terms. Don't let your past hold you down. Use it as a tool to improve your life today and tomorrow by seeing and taking hold of where you want to go. Guys, do this intervention. Like I said numerous times, it can be eye-opening. And like I said, it's powerful. Don't pass that up. And if you have questions on certain parts of it, reach out to me. Comment on this video or message me on Instagram at Giannouloudis, and I'll help you right out. More than happy to do that. But guys, like this video so we can spread it to more people. Share it to someone who you feel it could impact. And make sure you hit that subscribe button so we can get this to everyone. But guys, try the intervention. Your past, 5 years ago, see how you jumped to today, and see where you want to go 5 years from now. Give yourself a score, write a description, and run with it. That power is in your hands. With 3 pieces of paper, go for it. But I'll see you guys next week.
You know I've been around and doing it, but now it's my time to shine and start proving it. I'm losing it, I'm moving it. The city is where I'm made.